How's it going, everybody? My name's Absalom, and welcome back. This is chapter 23 of my full platinum walkthrough of Expedition 33. And for all intents and purposes, this is the last chapter of the main game. It could be the last chapter for you in general, but the next chapter, just so you guys know, I'm covering all the DLC content, like the Endless Tower bosses, Versos drafts, all of that. That'll be in the next chapter. It's not required, but it is a pretty fun section. Very, very tough bosses and all of that. And you can go for the last trophy in the DLC section and have a bit of fun that way. Or you can finish today's video, and basically at the end of this video, we're going to have one more trophy left, at which point you can just farm up for that XP to get the level 99, and you'll pop the platinum trophy as well. So there's going to be a couple options. I'll go over it more at the end of the video, but man, oh man, do we have quite the video today. So let's go ahead and finish up the base game here. We have the flying manor, we have renoirs drafts, we have a whole bunch of stuff. We have Simon, the ultimate Simon boss. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on today is all I'm trying to say. So brace yourselves, and before we set out, I wanted to go over the journals and the records and everything. So on the journals, you should have everything minus the Simon journal. So we'll have that one here at the end of the chapter. And then for the records, you should have 30 if you followed along, 31 technically because we have 2 of one, but 30 in general, unless you have, there could be one more that you might have picked up just on your own exploration. I'll go over that later, but we will get all the records today, so no worries if you don't have it all. But you should have at least the 30 that I have. So I'm just going to show you guys in alphabetical here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and that's the one where we have 2 extra, but I'm not going to count the second one, so that one's just number 18. And then we have 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. So, technically I have 30, 31, I suppose, but 30 is all we care about. We'll get the other 3 in today's video, and just make sure we have our party all set up and everything, and we are ready to go from our flag. So the next thing I wanted to do is upgrade the Corpesso weapon for Verso. I'm going to go ahead and max this one out. You should have plenty of resources at this point, and if not, you'll get them absolutely by the end of the video. So I'm going to get the Corpesso weapon just fully leveled. And then that is everything I wanted to do to prepare for today's chapter, and now it is time to set out into the Flying Manor. So come over here and talk to the boy. Just say how we open the door. Okay, that guy should be pretty much done here. And from here, what I want to do is kind of orientate. So we're going to work our way from bottom corners all the way. It doesn't matter what order you do these in, but we have to activate all 4 statues here. And there's 4 directions. It's like the 4 corners, and each one has its own boss and items and all that. And then eventually, once we get all 4, the door will open to our final boss. So that is the concept behind the area that we're in. And this is a bit of a challenging area. It's not too bad given our level and build. The next area will be a step up, and then the areas after that will be much more difficult. The Endless Tower bosses are no joke. They used to be pretty doable, but then the developers patched a lot of the one-shot builds and the broken Pictos and whatnot, so we're having to do it legitimately now. But that's cool. I like that, actually. I like the games that make you, actually try. But head down that staircase and the rope and everything, and then you're going to reach this elevator here, which will take us to our next section. We can just head down the stairs here. Color of Lumina right there.
That will help.
And I'm going to start just by taking out the enemies in the area. That'll make it a little bit easier to run around. Plus, we need the XP. As much XP as we can get at this point. I'm going to try to hurry through boss fights and things just to save us on any amount of time possible. Man, my L kind of let me down right there. Oh, she at least got one.
Here's your card.
Just doing our regular setup here. Foretell and the Twilight Slash. And that's that. Okay. There's another enemy over this side, but also an item. So it should be another thing over here. Grandiose Chroma Catalyst. We can take out this enemy real quick. Just gonna take out these guys first. A little bit of a Percy and move about our path here. Nothing stands in our way. Now just take note that there's a grapple right there whenever I come back. Over this way next. Ignore the train boss just right this second. We'll take him out in a moment. Oh, I didn't mean to activate it on him. That was dumb. Okay, I'll get back into Virtuous just in case I need it.
Here's your card. Ready?
Yeah, nothing new. I'm just doing, the best stuff you got with my L. Set up on Twilight mode with sciel, and then Verso's just regular shots. The same pattern we've been doing this whole time. I really not kill you with that. And they're dead. Now I can grab an item underneath the awning over here.
Lovely.
There we go. Let me go fight the boss real quick. Just clear up all the enemies here. This is the same train boss that we fought back at Minoko's station area. No different here. Same moves and all that. Oh, I missed the parry. All right, let me go ahead and take out the other one. There we go. Now we can hit a nice little Stendhal. And there's no more boss. Yeah, we are overpowered for this area. I left it this way just because, I wanted us to be overpowered for this area. Because it's only going to get more difficult. And I figured if we did this when the game wanted us to do this, this would have actually been a pretty challenging area. But head over to this gazebo-looking thing. And there's a hidden rope right here. I know, it sneaks up on you. That's an easy rope to miss. I'm gonna hit a flurry here. And then I'll hit another Fury on the other guy. All right, sciel, show us what you got. Focus Foretell. Twilight Slash. And then Verso's got a gun. We're going to be completely re-kitting our people at the end of this, or well, towards the end of this chapter. Yeah, our regular build for all the normal areas is kind of coming to an end, and now it's going to be, at the end of this video, is going to be when we start to kit ourselves out per boss. Like each time we fight a new boss, we'll be changing our builds or things like that. All right, so now we want to grapple up after grabbing that chroma. And then there's another thing of chroma, a lot of chroma actually. We're about to get rich with chroma. Look at that, 20,000. Ah, wow, wow. That's right. Then we can grapple up here. One more time. Get a little Pictos going on right there. Charging alteration. And then we're back to where we started here. You can just drop off if you want. So there you go. That's all the items right now. And now we can go up the rope. And then before you go anywhere, head to the left right here. Good energetic stuff. Healer. And I apologize for, you know, maybe getting your hopes up with that one lantern boss that we fought at the painting workshop, but there's more. There's always more lamp masters. I will say, though, this is the last regular lamp master. After this, we just have a special version, which might piss you off tremendously. Before you fight him, though, grab the chroma. There we go. This one works the same way as the other ones, though. The one that we'll fight eventually, the chromatic lamp master, he is just a special breed of fuckery. But this guy you're gonna breeze through, no problem. Oh my gosh, I'm so used to the Endless Tower version of him. His lanterns are so much faster in that version. Felt like I was on slow-mo in the Wanted movie or The Matrix or something. Alright, so you should be able to kill him pretty quick here. And if you don't want his lanterns shooting at you, you can absolutely, you know, shoot them and break them.
Let's go. Here's your card.
But I use the lanterns just to get AP back. Right when it blinks at the end there, is when you counter. I'll just shoot regular. And there we go. Pretty simple boss there. And you'll get a perfect chroma, so if you didn't have one to upgrade your Corpesso weapon, there you go. You got one. When you know it, we lit up a statue.
One down.
And then just say, yes, go back to the plaza. There used to be a glitch with this kid back in the day, where once you beat everybody and you go to the final, you go back to the plaza from here and you talk to this guy right here, and then he would give you an outfit that you could only get once per playthrough. And it used to be a glitch to where once you got the outfit, you could go talk to him at any of the normal 4 locations and ask and like just talk to him, and he'd be like, do you want to go back to the plaza? And it would reset it as if you had just beaten this version and took it back to the plaza. And you could just do that endlessly. But now it's been patched. I tried a bunch of things to try to get it to work, but I believe it's been patched. So if you guys do know of a way to get that, let me know. I'll pin it in the comments or something. But I just, for all intents and purposes, I'm pretty sure that's no longer a thing. And in order to get the final reward of this area, I think you'd have to go to New Game Plus, like 3. Yeah, New Game Plus 3. Well, technically 2, because it would only be you know, 2 extra games, but either way, 3 playthroughs. But yeah, from there, now we are back. We're gonna head to the elevator over here. You can rest of the flag, of course, level up. Let's make our characters stronger. Yeah, we're gonna respec here. We should have plenty of recoats, but I will mention to start saving any recoats you have. Just put it. It doesn't matter with sciel. I mean, with Lune. Doesn't matter. We're probably not using her ever again. So that's just how it is. But I'm just putting in our stuff because it really we have enough skills to get through what we need, and everything else we're gonna respec once we get to certain bosses. But I have 38 recoats. If you're missing any, there's gonna be a few merchants in today's chapter. You can buy recoats, save recoats, save you know, anything that's like upgrading for weapons, things like that for specific builds. But either way, if you have nothing of any of that stuff, there's gonna be plenty of merchants. Plus, there's all the merchants in the game that we've passed. You're welcome to go back and buy a bunch of recoats there as well. But you should have plenty. I haven't used any really, other than like once or twice, I think. So I have 38. I don't need. I only need like 5. So it's not gonna be needed that much. Looks like I can't pick up any skills, unfortunately. And as far as color of Luminas, you want to upgrade the A team and just kind of leave Monoko and Lune in the dust. And I would prioritize sciel. She has the buff. She's like our buff person. So the more you can give her and Verso, the better. We're kind of done with my Ls for now, or just in general, unless you go to New Game Plus, whatever. In which case you can get them up to like 500 or 600 at that point. But yeah, as far as the color of Luminas, put everything you own into sciel and Verso, but prioritize sciel. Now come over here. It's our second area, and we got a color of Lumina and a little bit of a rope right here. And then just turn around on the right side here and grab this chroma.
Great.
Got lots of chroma, which only means one thing. I'm sure the game's just being nice to us. Grapple across, take out this enemy. We have a mime boss after this. I'm gonna break the shields first, and then we can blow up the bomb. That way we get damage on this other guy here too. And when you know it, I've got Stendhal. And he no longer exists. All right, now come back here. Grab the Pictos. You'll also get your weapon upgraded from killing that enemy. And then before we head back up the rope, head up this rope, and we have a mime boss. 1, 2, 3, and we're gonna hit her with a good old burning canvas. Get that burn damage in. That also lets us get back over to Swift Stride if it's on fire. So it's always nice to do that. And then Foretell and Foretell and Swift Stride. Why can't I talk today? Twilight Slash and Focus Foretell are our typical build with her. Nothing fancy. I can't wait till we get to the in-game build. I think you guys are gonna really like this. I spent the better part of a week and a half or so prepping for the Endless Tower on my other playthrough. And all the strats I used to know are now just null and void. There's nothing that works. There used to be one-shot kills, builds that were really OP with like just sciel, and now all of that has been patched. So I had to completely restart on the boss builds and basically just figure out like what builds work, and I'm really proud of it. I can say that it works for sure. It will require a bit of skill though, but that's just how it is nowadays. All right, take out the mime. Get the Clair haircut. Yes, Clair. All right, up the rope again. I think I've covered everything I wanted to mention in terms of disclaimers and warnings and all that sort of stuff and updates. And so now I think I'm all caught up with my notes, and now it's time to just burn through these areas. So hope you guys don't mind if I move a bit quick here. We just have a lot to do. Come over here, grab the color of Lamina. And then we can take out the boy here, which we're about to embarrass. This guy's guarding a, whatchamacallit, a merchant. Well, it's a decent amount of items. Oh, I forget that you have a stupid-ass gradient counter. All right, check this out. I'm about to hit him a couple times. Let's get an assessment on how much I need to kill this guy. All right, we're good. Hit him like... just to get a little bit of extra damage on him, because I know I'm about to kill him and refresh my entire AP bar. So now we can introduce this guy to Stendhal. There we go. Didn't stand a chance. Now head down here. There's actually an item behind him you can grab real quick. Just we'll come back and buy his stuff here, but just go through the crawl space. You'll see the item right here. Chroma Catalyst.
Good stuff.
We have more Bergeon skin, so just put that in your pocket and save it for later. Never know when you need a light snack. All right, so with the merchant here, we need to go ahead and fight him, of course. Even though Miles at 1 HP here, I'm still gonna absolutely demolish this guy here. Get out of here. You don't get to bring friends to a fight. Little 1-2-3 punch. Oh. Not today, sir. Not today. Now, have you met my friend Stendhal? Embarrassing for them. For them.
No.
Okay, now this guy has quite a bit of stuff, as you see. So we're going to be buying whatever you feel like. None of this is needed, by the way. It's just whatever you want. But I will recommend at least the brake specialist, slowing brake, and then if you guys want any of the weapons, you can get it. But you're welcome to save your money if you're running a little bit low, because there is another merchant in the next area we're going that has a lot of stuff as well. But I would say here's what I'm going to recommend. Get the accelerating shots. That's pretty good. You might want that for a certain boss in the Endless Tower. I'm not going to be using it like that, but I just will recommend buying it just in case. Gradient Breaker is pretty good. Brake Specialist and Slowing Brake. All of these are pretty decent, honestly. And then after that, the weapons are kind of just up to you if you guys want. I don't need any of these really, but it is up to you. And we don't have any of these weapons, so I'm not going to buy them. I'm going to save my money for the next merchant. But just, you know, look through them. If you guys like it, go for it. If you have a lot of extra chroma, then feel free. But I am going to buy the color of Lamina's. And then if you guys need any of the upgrade materials, by all means, grab whatever. And then that'll be that. Now we're heading, that's the final boss in front of us. And now I want to head to the left over here. There's a few items that loop back around to that other guy. I always miss that first shot nowadays. Like, Get the 3 shields broken and then refresh by killing this guy. There we go. Get full meter there with AP, and now we can say hello with Sindal. There we go. Easy peasy. Moving right along. Now look to your right. There's going to be an enemy patrolling this area, so we can kill him. Oh, Lampmaster, nothing, or not Lampmaster, but you know, a little jar Nevron. Nothing serious though. I think I'm just gonna go crazy with Stendhal right out the gate. Just hello, goodbye. Oh, I will have you know I hit 19 million, and then I hit 35 million with my build that I set up at the end of this chapter. So just brace yourselves for some big damage. My L has ascended. 35 million, in case you didn't hear me. 35 million. That's right. We're gonna be gods at the end of this video. All right, I don't really have anything to hit these people with, so I'm just gonna do regular attacks here. And then we can do the regular for sciel and verso. And dead. Now there's a Pictos we need to grab, so do not go down the bridge just yet over there. This bridge. What we need to find is this handheld right here. Thank goodness the other expeditions placed these for us. Jump across, take out these pathetic enemies.
Not looking good.
Mael, you have no faith. Did I ever tell you that, Mael? I hit a Flurry of Fury. Should be enough. Yep. Perfect. And then it doesn't really matter what you do here, but I'm going to hit a Stendhal just to guarantee victory. You know, I know I was bragging about 35 million just a second ago, but I also had one that only did 84,000. So, yeah, that roulette can be a bitch. She's a cruel mistress, that roulette.
Great.
Grab the Pictos right here. Powerful Mark, that's another good one. Pretty much every Pictos we grab at this point is really good. Especially in the next area we're heading, Renoirs drafts, everything is kind of DLC quality and very, very good, or late game quality. Even if you don't realize why, it's most of the Pictos, most of them are really, really good. Grab the Chroma Catalyst. And then now we can loop around here. There's actually a sneaky little item over here you can grab. Energizing shots. Now we'll fight the Goblu Chroma Goblu? Chroma? Nope, just Goblu.
Not impressed.
There goes his shields. If you get a perfect parry. This is the guy that grows flowers, remember? Pretty easy, boss.
Not giving up.
Just let him know what Stendhal is all about. There we go. He's half dead, but ready to be broke on the meter.
Okay.
Just gonna hit him a couple times there in regular attack. Get his broke meter there. Now we can just hit our regular attacks here.
Ready?
You definitely want to be doing Thortail first and then Twilight Slash. I know I put it in the right order, but don't just just spam it. Like, make sure you do it in the right order every time, because you want to apply Thortail first. All right, and then I'll just regular show you. He'll probably grow flowers in the next turn if I had to guess. No? Okay. I'm actually surprised he didn't go for the flowers. This version of the boss, before I kill him, he'll grow a bunch of flowers just on the left and right, just like the other ones, but, you know, you want to definitely take out the flowers whenever. If not, he'll get shields back.
Okay.
All right, there we go. 2 bosses down. Next beacon has been lit. The beacon is lit. And just a single rose remains.
2 to go.
Ah, I can't knock it over. All right, well, it was worth a shot. Where is the boy? There he is. So if you need to grab anything, do it. But otherwise, head back to the plaza. Oh, thanks, kid, for letting me know we're back. Head to the flag, level up, rest, get all prepared for the next area. It's gonna up the agility. Basically, it's might, agility, luck are the biggest things we can be leveling for our A team members. Let's see, 6 for sciel is what I need. All right. Okay. Couple color of luminas here, so get them up. And I'll just balance it out the best I can here. And that's that. So I'm gonna make a quick save and then we'll continue on. All right, we are ready to continue up the path now. So from our flag, I'm gonna do this way. I like to do it in order, by the way. That's just me personally. From left to right, you know. Bottom to top, work our way towards the door. Again, you can do these in whatever order, but those items right there, that's a bit of a troll. What you actually have to do is go up this way. Then we can grapple across. There's an item over here, Chroma Catalyst. We can take out the enemies afterwards. Right over here, hiding out. Oh, wow. I gotta say it every time. Ah, wow, wow. It's like I just have to. If Minoko's gonna get that excited about it, I've gotta say it. All right. Tough guys. They think they're a bunch of tough guys, huh? I'm gonna do a Flurry Fury. Mainly just to stay in virtuous stance for the next turn. And then I'll just break whatever shields I can on the other guy. Good job, Mael.
Here's your card.
I'll target this guy with sciel. Do a good amount of damage here. Ooh, almost all the way. All right, perfect. I can kill this guy with Verso. Now we can focus on the big guy. Pretty hard to miss your shots on that one. And perfect. Gosh, we're just so strong. And over here on the left is going to be a rope. Ropes are kind of tough to see in these areas. This leads back down to that item that we saw. So before you grapple another time to the right, go up here. And this isn't a hard boss, but it can be kind of annoying. It's the rock enemy, if you remember. Except this one is a little bit more aggro. It's customary. I missed the first shot, apparently. Every time. Oh.
Careful now.
It can just be a random amount of times. So basically it's the same parry window. Just keep, just do it until he's done, basically. I can't guarantee it's going to be the same amount of times. But I think like 7 is the highest he'll go. Maybe 9. It's an odd number. I think it's 7 or 9 is the highest amount of times he can do it. But either way, just parry until he stops slamming you. See, he has a good amount of health, actually. And I'm a regular attack to break him, just because I had him already at the break meter. And Mael's weapon, if you regular attack, it always breaks. This will put us into Twilight mode here. We'll actually get to use it. Nice. Was that 7, I believe? I think that was the most he can do. Okay, that was 10 though. So now, I don't know if I understand this game at all. We might have to restart the whole game. I just feel so lost now. I'm gonna do a Stendhal, even though it's not gonna do much. 2 million is not bad, actually. I got lucky with the roulette. Stanceless Stendhal shouldn't really do anything. Do a gradient attack to get into Virtuous. That's really all I need it for. It's a quick path to a Virtuous stance. And then Sealed Fate, of course, once we're in Twilight. Ciel's about to get a god tier weapon. Not about, but like by the end of the chapter. I promise you, by the end of the game, we're gonna be so ridiculously strong. You're not gonna know, like, you're not even gonna recognize our party at the end of our walkthrough. And then if you feel like going into New Game Plus, you're gonna be very set up for that. There we go. Okay, so grab the absurd amount of chroma over here, 20,000. And we can go back down, grapple across that item that we saw initially by the 2 enemies. You have to use that rope for some reason. They would not let you jump off. Over here, kill these guys real quick and then grab our item. Oh, yes. Flurry was enough. And that sets us up to Stendhal, the other guy. Too easy. Give me a challenge. All right. Chroma Catalyst right there. And we can just go back. If you need the rest of the flag, feel free to do that. But you should be okay. But potentially after that rock enemy, you might be a bit weak. If needed, go back to the flag. But if you're feeling confident, follow me. All right, so now that's the left path complete. So now we have to go to the right. Over here. I looked at my notes. Oh, hold up. I wrote down horrible notes for myself. It said, just go right for chroma. I'm like, hang on, that's the rope. No, we want to go get that chroma and then head up here. This is actually a dead end, but it leads to a paint cage. Couple enemies there if you want. They're really not worth my time, to be honest, with the XP. But shoot that one. And then over here, this one's gonna take a minute, so I do this one second. That'll fly in, and then while that one's flying in, we can hit this one. There we go. Timed it just right. Grab the paint cage there if you guys want to tackle those 2 enemies. I mean, they don't really do that much for us XP-wise. If you're curious about this rope, then allow me to enlighten you. You see where we're at? Wow. Wow. Golly. That all makes sense now. That's back at the rock guy. All right, so don't go fight the boss. I mean, you can. It doesn't mess up anything, but there are a bunch of stuff over here. Whoops, hold up. Over this way. Just kind of stick to the far left over here. You can drop down, and there is a thing of chroma right here. We can take out all the enemies here. Oh no, he buffed his allies. Gosh. That guy just dies instantly. Oh man. We are out of control right now. Come on, get lucky. Oh, we got very unlucky. 600,000. Mayo. Is everything okay at home? You good? It's okay if you want to eat my L, sir. Yep, exactly. I get it. I would do the same if I was you. That's okay, because he doesn't know Verso is actually our OP guy right now. We're going to stack that Fortel. Then we're going to hit him with this Twilight Slash here. Take that, sir. And now, we'll stack the burn. Look at that damage. All right, Mael, did you learn your lesson? And then we can hit a Sealed Fate, of course, now that we're in Twilight. Another Sealed Fate. Okay, now, I don't really have much. So I'll do... Let's see. I'll do a Flurry Fury. I was one off of a Stendhal. Then we'll do a Percy with my remaining stuff. Stack that burn again.
Here's your card.
I hit a virtuous attack here, you know, the gradient attack to get into virtuous. And that'll let me, I guess just hit a Percy. I don't really have much of anything. Versa's gonna be the guy that probably takes him out. Oh, good choice, good choice. Get her out of here. That burn damage. Come on, the burn damage. Let the burn damage be it. Just hit whatever you can here. The burn damage, it's gotta be it. Yep, there we go. Now, obviously, our orders might be different because he eats different people and all of that, but I trust that you guys have fought enough enemies at this point to handle that boss. Whatever RNG method you have for yours. Afterwards, we can grab the item right here. It's a Chroma Catalyst. Little rock enemy here. I'm inside the pillar. Would you look at that? Who knew their weapons were hollow? All right, so I'm gonna Get the shields broken on that guy. I got really unlucky with roulette, but that's okay. I'll take him out with my sword. And then I can still hit him with Stendhal. It should be enough damage. Even in stanceless. Yeah, plenty of damage. Sciel doesn't really do much of anything to this guy, so do whatever you guys want to do with her. She's not our good player for this kind of enemy. There we go, Verso. Thank you for burn damaging him. Okay, and then behind where that guy was at is another item over here.
Well, that will help.
Yay. We did it. And let's see, now... Yeah, that was the color of Lamina, in case you're wondering. But now it's the boss fight here.
Careful now.
Definitely get good at this guy. Definitely get used to this boss. You're gonna trust me, you're gonna want that. So once on the way down and once on the way up with his sword on that attack.
The dance begins. I'm ready.
All right, and then I'm just gonna save my AP for my L. Start stacking it back up. The typical routine with Sciel on this guy, she actually can damage him. Luckily, he's not resistant that much. One, two, three, and Grady. All right, then Verso can start stacking burn damage a little bit. He's not really our ringer of this fight, though. Oh gosh, he inverted us. No. That only helps us because our build is built around inversion. Okay, maybe I should have focused a little bit more on that one. That one, you just have to block the 3, and then he does one final stab. All right, I'm going to do Swift Stride to get into Virtuous. That'll up our AP, hopefully to 8. Yep, perfect. Stendhal, hopefully we get lucky here. And there we go. Now we're going to speak to the boy, take us back to the plaza. This will be 3 out of 4 down, and then it's time for the actual boss. Ooh, 3 out of 4.
Just one more.
So I guess we're in like ancient Greece, I guess? Somewhere in there, maybe? Yes, please, take me back. Another recoat for us. And you know the drill, rest up. Poor Sciel is hurting. All right, I'm gonna boost whatever you feel like here. Honestly, we're gonna be respecking, so just put it towards whichever attribute you feel like you want for each player. I'm just going to up the agility on Mael. We're at level 92. We have to be 99 for one of the trophies. Not to worry, though. We will hit that mark. I'm still 1 away there. Okay, well. I'll give 1 to Verso here. And then that'll be it. So I will make another save and we'll continue on. All right, here we go. Final section here. We have 3 out of 4 lit. Just the last one right here. This one's pretty straightforward. So jump across over here. And that path over there is actually the correct path. There is an item over here. Grab the chroma.
Great.
And right there, you probably can't see it very well, but there is a rope that leads down, and then you can kind of grapple over here. But just whenever you see that rope, you'll see it in a moment. Just know that that just leads back here. So don't go exploring, because then you have to run all the way back, and it would just be annoying. Grapple over here. Before we drop down, there's an enemy on this bridge here. We have to kill all the enemies. You might want to do that before looting. It's kind of up to you. I'm just going to take out this guy up here. Try to farm up as much XP as we can. Any last words, sir? Okay, very nice. You keep your secrets, sir. All right, so that guy right there with all the other enemies, that's the boss. So you can kind of run around him in a big circle and then fight him last, or you can fight him now. Really doesn't matter. But from here, drop down, and there is a paint cage over here, so you can break that one. Break that one. And now we'll come over here. This is where we would have dropped down from the beginning area, where we first entered this room. Break the paint cage right there. Or break the paint spike, which will then break the paint cage. And then we can grab the Pictos. And then I'm going to hit up this right side real quick. Grab the color of Lamina and then fight the enemy here. All right, adios. Actually, I'll use one bullet to just shatter his hopes and dreams. And then we'll hit him with a Stendhal. Just to be an extra bit of an asshole there. Make him suffer a little bit. Okay, so that's that. There's that rope I was talking about. That just leads back to the canvas. Nothing to see there. Follow this right side down to a chroma catalyst here.
Great.
There we go. And that's the right side done. So ignore the bosses for now. Now we can take out the Bourgeon enemy. I'm gonna do my best to take out these little guys. Oh, okay, good. Usually I get my L eaten right here. That's why I kind of just went all in with the Stendhal. Perfect. Those little guys are good for AP. If you guys want to keep them, you're welcome to. And they're dead. All right. I'm just going to shoot him and then regular attack to break him. If he's ready to be broke. If not, you could hit a perfect break and probably push him over the threshold if it was close to being broken. And he's burning, so I'm going to do a Swift Stride, which will then give us enough AP for Stendhal and put us in Virtuous. I literally can't see. All right, almost dead. If I'd gotten lucky on that, we would have been probably over with this, but all good. Yeah, Sciel doesn't really do much to this guy. She kind of just tickles him. Burn damage is the way to really mess him up. Got another snack for later, another little bit of Bourgeon skin. Now, heading down this left side of the room, There's an item right over here you might have spotted. Grab the Chroma Catalyst. And there are a couple enemies back here. There's one in the back right, and then there's a pre-tank boss over here. Grab the Color of Lamina first. Alright, I'm just gonna push him over there. And then we'll head over here to this secret bookshelf room. Fortunately, it was opened up for us. There's a Pictos. Upgrade, the roulette. It's now level 28, finally. Then we can take out this guy who's selfishly guarding an item that I want. Break his shields. You should be able to kill these guys. Just careful not to shoot the red orbs. There we go. And now we can Stendhal and remove him from this realm. Adios. Grab his Chroma Catalyst. Guess I'll do the boss at last. That's fine. How did you get back over here, you silly goose? Come over here. All right, so push him around. Then you can stick to this pillar here and push him up. Up the stairs we go. I'm not messing around. Stendhal. Be best to do it on the middle enemy. I kind of goofed and hit the left enemy there.
Finesse and grace.
That's fine. I don't need that. I'm going to do Burning Canvas. That's my next best one. At least let the burn damage start wrecking the middle one if you didn't hit Stendhal on that middle guy. And then I'll use sciel to hopefully take out the guy on the right with our Twilight Slash and all that. There we go. Verso, please finish this up. Got a good amount of burn damage here. Hopefully that's enough. Perfect. Yeah, I meant to hit that middle guy with Stendhal. Alright, the pre-tank was a little bit glitched out there, I think because of the other enemies. But yeah, just hit him once he's on that platform. It's a very easy pre-tank boss. Okay, well, good try, sir. Good try. We're gonna go ahead and Stendhal. And there's no more pre-tank enemy. Wow. Ow, wow, wow. Okay, that's that. You can drop off if you want. Go fight the actual boss. It's our last regular boss. We do have another item after this, but it's on the way. Remember, it's every 3 hits, and then whenever he does all 3, that's your cue that that's the last one. And that one's just whenever the orb blinks. And that's pretty much all you gotta know. Alright, that one's dead. That one's dead. Yeah, 2 on the left and right are very simple. And now this guy's gonna find out what the afterlife looks like as well. Once he is acquainted with Stendhal. Open the gates. All right, before we talk to the boy here,
That should do it.
head up the staircase here. And then we can grapple across. Nice little jump. Grab this Pictos right here.
Good stuff.
The painter. And then we can drop down right here by the boy and say yes, back to the plaza, where he'll let us know that we're back, and then we can rest up at the flag and prepare for the ultimate showdown here of this area. Any guesses at who it is? Give you a hint. It's in one of the trophies. All right, Sciel and Minoko obviously don't matter with their ability points right now. Please, 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 please. Come on. Come on, B6. Damn it. Dang it. Well, you know, I have hope. All right, so after all that, we have a decent amount of color of Luminos. There we go. Okay, and once we are ready to go from the flag, head over this way. We're gonna open the door. A threatening aura emanates from beyond the door. What could it be? Open the door. We attempt it. You push harder, but the door barely shifts ever so slightly. Sensation of danger is magnified. Oh my gosh, what could it be? Beyond the door lies a threat. Unlike anything we've ever felt before. Do we wish to open the door? Yes, of course we do. One last time. You truly wish to open the door? I think we do. Yeah, I want that trophy, so let's do it. Brace yourselves. Hey, I said that at the start of the chapter. Get your own line. Okay, everybody. The final boss of the Flying Manor. Are you ready? Down the stairs we go. You guys know who it is?
It can't be.
Professor.
Claire. You're alive. What happened to her?
I bet Claire hated Maman's portrait of her, so she painted over her.
And now she paints Nevrons.
Can you heal her? Can you change her back?
I can't repaint her. Claire's the only one skilled enough to paint over someone else's creation.
I don't like this.
This is gonna be tough.
That's right, everybody. It's Big Sis. And this boss, not that difficult. Yeah. Get to where I can actually explain it. Okay, all right. Now that I can actually explain it, what she does is she summons random Nevrons. There's like 3 different versions. Like it's the musical, the creepy ones, or the large ones. And then as you lower her health, she can bring in more increasingly difficult attacks. And your meta right now is going to be Verso. Hopefully he doesn't get eaten by the Bergion. If that happens, you can probably just die or reset or just keep trying. But it can get a little bit annoying because if you're not doing enough damage each turn, Clair reabsorbs 500,000 worth of health every time. And so you have to always be doing more damage. And that's where Verso is really good because his burn damage. And so you want to shoot with him and then regular attack to just start stacking burn like crazy. And this will be very easy. And if you can kind of get through it like pretty quick with the parries and do counter damage, you probably won't even have to fight the final phase of Nevrons. But it just kind of depends on how good you are, and also if you get eaten by the wrong person gets eaten by the Bergion, and all of that. But anyways, the musical one, it's just ignore the first attack. It's 4 parries in a row and then 1 final parry. The creepy one is 3 parries to start, and then 1, it's like a fake out, and then the guy will do a slam attack. So it's like kind of 3 and then 1. Same with the, all of them are like 4-1 or 3-1. And then there's a large one, which I'll show you guys later. And then the later ones are kind of crazy. Anyways, we're going to try to just get as much damage as we can here. Okay. All right. Well, that also works. That also works. Oops, hold up.
How is she so strong?
She's Claire's creation.
Claire?
She's trying to find a way.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I think the only respectable thing now is to steal her clothes and wear them as our own. And also, Mael is one step closer to breaking Verso and taking everybody he's ever cared about. Convince me of this. This isn't the actual case. I think she knew that he let Gustav die in the very beginning. I think she knew that the whole time, and her plan to reenact vengeance, if you will, is to just take everybody he's ever cared about. So she's killed his painted big sister, his little sister, all of that. she has just slowly but surely taken everything from Verso, and I think it's kind of a revenge plan if you think about it. But anyways, I'm kind of mad that that boss died in one hit, so I've gone back and I filmed that boss fight just to show the different attacks. That way you can see what I'm talking about. So let's cue up the montage of those attacks. All right, so this first one is the musical Nevron. It's pretty easy, and basically you just parry the first 4 little waves there, and then afterwards the 2 musical guys will come in the middle, and then that's about it. So that one's real simple. And then the next one is going to be the powerful one. This one's super easy as well. It's the first parry, the little guy, and then it's just this guy which we've fought a million times, and just parry him, and that's easy. And then the third and final one of the first phase are the creepy Nevrons. It looks kind of crazy. Don't get faked out by that one. It's only one parry on that big dude. He's going to fake the first hit. And then the next one's the more in the second phase, the agile one. Now this one is really tough, honestly. The guy's doing the spinning attack. It's a lot of different parries at once. That one's gonna be the hardest one to figure out how to parry. And then there's the ancient one, which is mainly, it looks crazy, but it's actually just parry, jump, parry, jump, parry, jump. That's it. And this is from a practice run, so I wasn't doing my best here, but basically just parry and jump. And the last one is from the deep. Now this one can go a couple of different ways with the giant dude here. He can either eat you or slam down on you. It is just unfortunate, but that's only at the end of the fight usually that you'll start to get all these different attacks, and it can be all 6 at that point, so just be ready for anything really. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed that footage there, and after beating Clea, you should have the trophy Clea for, I don't know, beating Clea, right? So now what we want to do is find the boy who is over this way, I believe. Yes, here. Yeah, no, it's back. It's back at the beginning. That's right. That's right. Never mind. Yeah, I was thinking of the exploit where you have to go find him, but yeah, come back here and you'll talk to him. And you can pick which person you want the outfit for. So say we did. And then here is where you want to select whoever you want Clea's outfit. It's going to be the same clothes she was wearing. So I'm just going to give it to Mael. I feel like she earned it with that Stendhal. And we can rock Clea's outfit for a little bit and pretend that we're her. So now on our squad, we have a guy pretending to be Gustav and a girl pretending to be Clea. Everything's fine. I'm sure this family doesn't need therapy whatsoever. So there we go. We have her interesting outfit here, the paintress outfit or whatever. And of course, we can head to our flag. And yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, it used to be a thing where you could talk to him, get the outfit, and then go to any of the 4, you know, boys that are over in the different boss fights, and you could talk to him, ask her to go back to the plaza, return, and it would basically treat it like you had just beaten Clea over and over, and you could get it for all 3 people in one playthrough. But now, to get this outfit, you'd have to play 2 more games to get it on the other characters if you wanted every item in the game, I suppose. But I'm not really that worried about that. It's not even that cool of an outfit, in my opinion. So I'm at level 92 with, it doesn't matter who, just as long as somebody's leveling up, you know? We're at 92 now. Add any color of Luminas to Sciel and Verso. And if you need to level up your weapons, now would be a good time. So I've got Corpesso to 33, you know, Mendulum to 33, and then Sciel, I'm just leaving at level 30. You're welcome to level it up. We have plenty of resources. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do that personally. You do not have to do this, by the way. But I have plenty of resources, and the weapon I'm going to replace it with will be max level anyways. So you might as well if you guys are just trying to get platinum. But if you are trying to save those for New Game Plus or something, by all means, just save your resources, and then the weapon we're going to get at the end of this chapter will be max level already, so you don't have to spend those resources on the Chatillon weapon. But if you're like me and you're just trying to get platinum, by all means, upgrade it. And from here, then we can head back to the continent and continue on our merry way. two things to do here. Whoops. So from our map here, we're nearby. I want to stop by this spot right here.
Hang on tight.
Hang on. This way.
Hang on tight.
It's easy to get turned around sometimes.
Flashing through the sky.
So this area right here, Blade's Graveyard, has a record for us. Reverence. There you go. That one you might have grabbed if you were just exploring. But if not, there you go. That's record 31. And yeah, so now it doesn't really matter where you're at. I guess this is just as good of a place as any. But we want to go to camp. And if you remember, we collected all the lost gesturals. So I wanted to go ahead and wrap that up. Yeah, so there's Reverence. We have all of these different ones. I know I'm going quick, but I've already shown it at the start of the chapter. So I have 31, technically 32, with the double Lumiere record. There's two options to get Lumiere. Cooking. And then he's going to give us a Pictos for collecting all of the lost gesturals. And it allows you to flee a fight immediately. So pretty helpful if you're farming or something and you mess up, or if you're testing a build, you could just flee the fight immediately. And also if you're trying to just run through areas on New Game Plus whatever, you know, and you don't want to actually fight all the grunt enemies, you just want to run through the areas. If you happen to get grabbed by one of the enemies, you could have that on just to like cancel the fight immediately and continue on your way. So there's a couple of uses for it. But yeah, that's pretty much the campsite here. So we'll go ahead and go to sleep. Back to the continent we go. Now we're heading over to Serene area. There's a merchant that sells another record, and that'll put us next to the other area that we have to go. All right, so we're getting here. So I like the new message on the monolith there. You go home, Papa. All right, so between Serene and the Chosen Path island that's floating up there, find this guy right here next to the deflated hot air balloons. Rederi. And he's going to sell 2 haircuts for us and also robe de jour. And if you were following this to a T, that's probably the moment you'll pop the trophy connoisseur for getting all the records, because technically we have 2 of the Lumiere records. So that would technically put you at 33. Now there is one more record. So if you missed one, you know, it's your lucky day and you're at 32. There's still one more. But yeah, that second Lumiere record is in the game because, you know, that first one's kind of missable, but you know, there's a second version of it nowadays. You know, now that the game's been out for a while, there is a way to get it, and that's at the Opera House. If you guys remember that giant boy that was playing the piano during the main story, there was a way to get the Lumiere that way as well. But anyways, that one might pop the trophy connoisseur, but if not, and you're at 32, don't worry, we're gonna get one more record here in just a moment. So yeah, buy all the stuff there, and then we have the Chroma next to him as well. And now what we want to do is we're right beside Renoir's Drafts. So head over this way. Renoir's Drafts, it's right here on the map. And we are, at this point, everybody, completely done with the entire world except for the DLC content right here, the final bosses of Endless Tower, and, whoops, hold up, and where we're at with Renoir's Drafts. So that is everything. We have gotten every item except for these couple areas I just showed you. Pretty crazy. Now get ready, guys. This is going to be a pretty wild thumbnail coming up. Brace yourself.
We're below the monolith.
Whoa.
It was sealed.
Whoa.
Careful.
This place is crazy. All right. Wow. What a thumbnail. What a thumbnail. All right, rest of the flag. All right, and if you didn't get that record connoisseur trophy, don't worry, you're about to get it here in just a moment. Take out these guys. Don't like the way they're just waiting for us. That's gross behavior. All right, you can take her out real easily. And then I'm just gonna Stendhal the middle guy here. He's the biggest threat to me. You can get your weapon, sir. You are not getting a turn though, but if it makes you feel better, by all means, draw your weapon.
Here we go. Here's your card.
Focus Foretell and Twilight Slash.
I saw your future.
There. And if not, finish it up with Verso. Okay. Now what we want to do is backtrack over this way. There's a grapple point right up here. And then drop down to the right here. And inside this mouth is going to be Endless Light, which is the last record you'll need. So that could be the record you have that pops your trophy. So just to recap here, we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, or 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, and 33. And then obviously that one extra with the Lumiere puts us at 34 total. But that is the full list of records. You should have the Connoisseur record trophy at this point. So there you go. That is a missable trophy. Not so much that like now that they've added another way to get the Lumiere record, but the original version, yes, that would be very missable. That guy, the mime in the very beginning of the prologue, is what would cause you to miss that. Because you need the old key and all that for the journals. There's a lot of random crap. That prologue, it gets you. All right, taking out whoever.
Here's your card. Well, well.
This feels like a sick puppy over here.
I
Just
saw your future.
he's just down for the count over here. Doing my best to hit that eyeball on the top. Got it. I had one bullet. Nailed it. Okay, and then those guys were guarding a Pictos over here.
Good stuff.
So get the record and the Pictos, and now it's back to the main path. It's a very happy looking area for it to be so difficult. It's pretty epic looking though. Now we'll take out these enemies. This isn't that big of an area, to be honest. It's just at the end of this area is where all hopes and dreams go to die. But not to worry, I spent a long time figuring out what to do. I wanted it to be guaranteed, where you just walk in, as long as you copy what I do, it'll work. That took a bit of effort, I'm gonna be honest. The Simon boss is notorious for being difficult. It's not even the hardest boss in the game now with the DLC, but on the base game, this was like a big time skill check, and that's the boss at the end of this area. He is the final boss of the main game. Alright, get that lady killed, and I can stend all the whichever other one. I did the Flurry Fury on the one on the left. And then I'm not going to get too much damage here with sciel. So I'll just hit Focus Foretell as well. I'm mainly waiting for Verso to come in. Apply that nice juicy burn. And there we go. The burn finishes it off. Never underestimate the burn.
What
There we go.
here?
Color of Lamina. Now we're heading up the slope over here. There's going to be an NPC at the end of this little stretch here next to some enemies. I'm just going to say the first option here. And then you want to talk to him again, and you can say the second option. There we go. And just make sure that you've gone through both. I'm just going to repeat it just to double check. Let's do both options. There we go. That way his dialogue is 100% exhausted. Now we can take out the enemies in this area. I don't like how he's holding that lantern in my face. After our trauma with the lamp master, just not really a fan, so I'm gonna go ahead and just snuff that out for you, sir. Mainly focusing on the middle guy here. He is the one that can cause blight and whatnot, so
I saw your future.
get him out of the picture as fast as we can. All right, he's dead. Not protective bubbles. Wow. He's blowing bubbles at us, guys. Don't let him do that. Nice job, sciel. Unfortunately for you, sir, you've pissed off my L. Nothing can save you once you've upset my L. Or excuse me, Clea. She's Clea right now. She's role-playing Clea. All right, so we can also take out these 3 enemies over here. They're guarding an item. There's a secret boss in this room that we're in. All right, gotta reset here. I don't think I'm gonna get lucky. That was a gamble. All right, I might as well break the shields. There we go. All right, then maybe Sindal with regular stance is going to be enough. Probably. Nope, not quite. Yeah, anytime you have a break meter, the base attack with all three of our characters at this point breaks their break meter. So you can always take advantage of that. All right, and then they are guarding
Well,
our
that will help.
chroma or color of Lamina. All right, so then hop around this other side of the area. There's a big circle. We came in from over that way with the NPC guy. Find this paint spike here, and this leads us to a secret boss. Absolutely want to take out this boss. If you weren't careful, you would think that this is the final boss, but it's just not. Oh, I missed the last one. No. Remember, the melee is always the head or the front feet. Then there's the tail, obviously. So that's how you know which area of the enemy to focus on for parries. All right, I'm just going to regular attack to save our AP after the stend off. Burn damage is going to be our best friend here. Get sciel into Twilight. No surprise there. Yeah, it's so much easier once you know what part of the body to focus on. Alright, start stacking that burn damage. The kick is always just one. And then since he's on fire with Swift Stride, get into Virtuous. And then we'll do a nice big old Stendhal. That was good damage. That was good. And then Sealed Fate, of course. And then see, I know that Verso's coming up next. So for this guy, I'm gonna hit Fortune Fury to double his damage. Just because I know he's coming up next. Let him do ultimate burn damage. Of course, he got shields right when our double damage kicks in. Perfect.
Not impressed.
That was unfortunate timing for us. All right, we at least removed the shields there. I'm gonna go ahead and revive my L. Then I'll use my gradient attack to get back into Virtuous. And then all I can really do is Percy. Pretty good damage, though. Oh, I timed that right. What are you talking about, game? What are we talking about? All right, perfect. I feel like I got really screwed over here. Okay, all right, sick. I timed those orbs right every time. The game just hates me, I guess. All right, I'm gonna choose to Stendhal once. Ah. I'm tempted, but I should be smart and just revive somebody, just in case. There we go. It was tempting, though. Get another perfect catalyst out of that. Now it's back to the main path. Yeah, the crew is in pretty rough shape here, and so I'm going to go ahead and heal the party with a chroma elixir. It's the first time I've ever had to use that, but that'll get us back in the fight there. What's the point of having maxed out revive tents and all that stuff if we don't ever use it, right? All right, and now underneath over here is going to be another item. So drop down and then head around. Chroma catalyst right there. Now there's a couple enemies. This is the final section. That tree up ahead, the yellow tree, is where we're heading. So there's a few enemies around here, a few items, and then it's time for the real fight. So I know we just fought this, but these guys are much weaker, and you should be warmed up. All right, one down. That wasn't good.
Not looking good.
Do switch stride. Get back in virtuous. Hopefully I can finish this off momentarily. All right, Mael got it pretty close. Come on, Verso. Apply the burn. Big time burn. Come on, big time burn. Hey, I got it that time.
Bring it on.
This is a pretty rare attack, if I'm being honest. That one doesn't happen very often. But just get ready to parry those three if he does do that attack. And then from where we came from, that side right there, you actually don't have to fight this guy over here. What you can do is... I'm sorry, the one's back further to the left. Chroma Catalyst. I forgot it spawned me over one room further. So I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So we came from this way. These guys right here, you do not have to fight, by the way. You can just leave them be. You can fight them if you want. But grab the Chroma Catalyst after that fight, and then we can take out these guys. You actually don't even have to fight these guys if you don't want to, but you might as well. Get that XP. I want to eliminate that guy the most, because you should be pretty familiar with the other enemy. There we go, burn damage coming in handy. All right, lock in.
Eyes up, also.
Hey, 2 for 2. Sucks he has shields on, because that would have killed him. Alright, I'm just gonna regular Stendhal. At that point, it should be enough to get him dead. But if not, just keep killing him. And before I continue, I should probably show you this. If you're like really hurting and you want to make it to a checkpoint, by all means do that. There is a flag right here. You can feel free to rest if you want. Lock in a checkpoint if you will. Doesn't really matter what we do. We're going to respec here in just a moment, so really doesn't matter. Just throw in your ability points. And as far as levels go, 93 is my highest. So only 6 more levels before we pop that trophy. And I did intentionally hold off on the last trophy so we could pop the platinum together on recording. That is the plan, at least. Dang, I still can't get a skill. I was kind of hoping I could. All right, so yeah, here we go. We're gonna keep buffing. Trying to get them to 300 each at least. And there we go. All right, so a couple more things to do. Do not go down that path just yet. That is the Simon boss, so just ignore that. And then, yeah, as far as everything, hold on. We want to, you can sneak past these guys, by the way. So that's what I was saying. You don't have to fight these guys. You can just hop up right there. And then grab this item right here, Grandiose Chroma Catalyst, and then talk to the merchant. And then, of course, we're going to fight him. Mael, we want her to get as high XP as possible. What you got for me? Oh, wait, nothing? That's right, you're gonna die. Stendhal. It's our answer to everything. Then we can break him with our regular attack, and then he will die. Okay, now he has a lot of stuff, as you guys can see. Most of it we already have, so you can see all the different Pictos that I own. You're welcome to buy any of the weapons. Again, I'm going to hold off. I'm just going to chill, and I'll buy stuff later on in the game. If you want really cool outfits, I would save about 500,000, give or take. You'll have plenty of opportunities to earn that. But by all means, if you guys want to buy anything, go for it. I'm going to buy all 30 Color of Laminas, though. That's all I'm caring about. And if you need any recoats, he has the one recoat. You should have enough, but you can backtrack to the earlier merchants. A lot of them have recoats, things like that. So, all right, so I'm gonna get all 30 points there. And if you want the weapons, you know, there are a couple decent ones here, but nothing that I really care about at this point. But yeah, you can always backtrack here and buy the weapons. There's these two as well. Yeah, then buy anything else you guys want or need. This guy is good for farming XP as well, because you can fight him over and over. You see how, like, when I go, I can just fight him, and he gives you Color of Laminas every time you win, and basically XP as well. So since it is next to a flag, a lot of people used to use this merchant as a way to farm XP to get to level 99. However, now that the DLCs are out, I would recommend finishing out at the bare minimum. In the next chapter, I'm going to go over all that, but like in the bare minimum, I would at least do Verso's drafts because that's not very difficult. But if you don't want to have to do the endless tower bosses, by the end of Verso's drafts, you're probably going to be pretty close to 99. And if you didn't want to have to deal with those really hard bosses, you could just come back to this flag and just farm the merchant here and just fight him until you hit 99. That's what a lot of people did back in the day. But anyways, what I want to do now is hop across these panels here. Now, it is really difficult to get across these for no reason whatsoever. But just regular jump across. And on this one, if you land in the middle, you'll roll off. So what you have to do is kind of miss it by going too short, and then that way you like climb back up on the panel. There we go. Yeah, do a running jump on the end there. You'll get the Pictos, and then we can go back up there again. And head to the back side over here, and then jump across, a running jump, and then do another running jump, and then another running jump, and then stop. Great. And get the other Pictos. I'll try to sneak by over here. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me. And then over by the rope this way. You follow this path all the way to the back. Is the color of Lamina. Just like that. And now we want to go up this rope over here. There's a catalyst over this way. Chroma catalyst.
Useful.
Just nothing but a dead Nevron over there. Pay no mind. A dead Axon. Axon. There we go. Just a dead Axon over there. No big deal. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of Renoir's drafts, except for, well, the hardest part. So we're going to go ahead and rest this flag real quick. Again, we're respecking here in just a moment, so no worries on that end of things. Oh my gosh, guys, hold on. It's happening. I can get a skill, finally. Okay, all right. That makes me feel better. We have 30 Color of Lamina points to get us caught up here. Ladies first, of course. She gets the extra point there. All right, we're closing in on that 30 or 300 for each character. So rest there. There's actually one thing we have to do before going into the boss, and that's head around this way. There's a secret boss over here, and an item and all. So grapple up this way. Follow this path all the way around. Peep at all the dead Axons around this area. You got the Reacher, the Siren boss, all of them. They're all dead. What a shame. Now you can, if you want, just skip these enemies and just run straight to the left over there. But where's the fun in that? And also, we need to hit level 99 together, guys. Oh, I was watching the lantern, not the giant ball.
Look out. Careful now.
Get out of here.
Not impressed.
Those two are dead. Now we're gonna hit this guy with Stendhal. And just like that, these guys are done. Okay, now we go to the left. This leads us all the way around for this one item. So we have to go all the way in a horseshoe around the boss just to get this one Pictos over here. Rush on powerful. Now we can go back to the flag, rest up. Actually, there's going to be a flag here in a moment, so no need to rest up or anything. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Okay, that's right. That's right. Hold on. Forgot I gave myself an idea here. Hold on. There's one thing we can do since we are done with all of the journals and whatnot. Head back to the continent after you've rested. We have to prepare for this boss because I want to get us to 300, and the only way to do that quickly is to give over all of our journals. If you guys remember in the gestural village, there's that merchant that if we turn in all the journals, we get Color of Luminous. And now that we're done with the journals, except for the last one, of course, but this is the end. You're not supposed to turn in that last one, basically. So this will complete this guy's quest. So it's definitely advised to do this right before Simon. This also lets us finish up the manor if we want to do that. So, of course we will. This is all the cleanup work. This is pretty much the last bit of cleanup in terms of like random side things. So, of course, I'm over here at the gestural village. Yeah, this chapter is all about closing the book here on the main story. So all the side stuff like lost gesturals, the journals, the records, all of that's coming to a head here. So it'll be the blue guy right here on the left. Color Lumina 20. Thank you, Barami. And then if you speak to him again, he just says he'll be happy. And that's the conclusion on the journal guy. And you can head over this way. There's a manor door over here, if you remember. All the way on the left side. Or the right side, depending on which side you came in. Find the turn back sign. This is one of the first manor doors we went into. One of them. Takes us to the kitchen, if you remember. And this is going to be the end of the manor section. So now that we have the family portrait, take it over here and place it to finally repair the Dasan family portrait, which will open up the door at the back because now all doors have been opened in the manor and the family portrait has finally been returned. The Dasan manor has welcomed us officially. So head to the back here. We're going to get some cool stuff. Got a little outfit there, and then also a journal, which, whoops, it's another one. Didn't see that coming, I bet. I bet you didn't see that coming. And yeah, just take in this room. Got all the official lore here if you're interested. There's the different people from the different worlds. So there's the Cyrene Axon. We got the guy that was holding up Old Lumiere. The canvas itself. And yeah, I guess that's it for here. But anyways, cool room. It's now accessible. But yeah, that opens up all the doors, hangs the portrait, gets us our outfit. If you're wondering what that looks like, it's the Painted Me outfit. Yeah. And then we can use this to assign the color Luminas here. And we'll give, I don't know, I guess, sciel, the extra one. And there we go. That was my version of getting us to 300 roughly. You might have a little less, a little bit more. Either way, you should be pretty close to 300, which will be enough for what I'm doing. So at this point, let's see, we are gonna head back to the continent here. So we need to head out, get to a flag, and then teleport back to Renoirs Drafts to go fight Simon. And this is another good opportunity. There's a few merchants obviously down this path. There's 3 or 4 merchants in this area. If you guys want to get any recoat or like, you know, upgrade items, things like that, if you need them, another opportunity for that. All right, back to continent. Fly. I'll be coming back to you, Endless Tower. That's where our journey ends, everybody. That'll be the last place we visit. It's crazy to think we've just done this whole area, everything, all items, everything. All right, look for the ring inside the map here. Just a friendly reminder, Renoirs Drafts over here. And we're working our way back to that flag. Fortunately, we can just fast travel. Now this one, I don't believe lets me fast travel. Maybe it, no, it does. Okay. I'm thinking of a different flag, I guess. There's one of the flags. I can't remember which area, but it's the, no, it's the monolith. That's where you can't fast travel from the first flag. And from this flag here, there's one thing I want to do to set us up, and that is to get Mael to level 1 HP here. So what I want to do is remove Sciel from the party and just leave it on Verso and Mael. That gives us a better chance of Mael being the one that gets attacked. And so what we're going to do here is just run over, pick a fight here, and I'm going to use Mael since she'll go first. I'm going to use her to devastate the creation boss just to make it a little bit easier for Verso. All right, there we go. Now we just have to hope that Mael gets hit. There we go. He should be able to kill us. Yeah, once Mael's dead. Now, if she doesn't get attacked, that's fine. Just try not to kill the enemy until she's dead. And then once she's dead, then you'll have to kill the enemy at hand. We need Mael to be level 1. There we go. That worked out really well. You can always retry until you get the right attack there, but having just Mael and Verso here, it's easier for her to be the one that gets attacked. Now, do not rest, but you'll see that her HP is at 1, and so that's that. So I'm going to set up everybody here in just a moment, but do not rest at the flag. We want to leave her health at 1 HP. Now let's head into this place, see what secrets lie behind the doors here. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the final section of the main game. This is the last boss. This essentially concludes the entire base game. I guess it actually does conclude the base game, unless you hadn't gotten something done before, but since you guys have been following, we've done everything that there is to offer. So this would kind of be the end of your journey here, except for maybe the level 99 trophy, which is back in the day, like I was saying, they used to farm up the merchants or nearby enemies in the Renoirs Drafts just to get to level 99 after beating Simon.
Let's go.
But jump off. Enjoy the ride down. And there's going to be a flag down here, and we're going to set up for the boss itself. Just make sure you do not rest. Okay. It's very ominous. Locate the boss over here, and you'll see the flag. And we should have everybody at full health except for my L here. And I got a couple Color of Lumina's just from, you know, fighting those enemies that we fought to lower her health and whatnot. From here, I'm going to go ahead and set up our build, and I'll check in with you guys in a moment. All right, everybody, I've set up our characters here, and just going left to right here. First of all, I just removed all the Pictos off of Verso and Minoko just to clear up anybody that might be using the same Pictos. So that's where I'm at with them. And then as far as, I left their Luminous, by the way. But as far as our main cast here, it's Sciel, Lune, and Mael are going to be our 3 people we bring into this fight. And I'm just going to go down the line here. Also, if you don't happen to have one of these Luminous points or these Pictos, you know, feel free to, if like for example, I have Energizing Turn, but I've already leveled that up. If you know, like, oh, Shielding Death, I don't have that one, you could put that one on in place of Shielding Turn or Energizing Turn, and then put Energizing Turn on the Luminous. So like either way, try to get as far as you can, but don't make, like, the Pictos don't need to be these 3 Pictos. Just make sure you have everything active that I'm going to list. And if you need to swap out Pictos for ones that you don't have, so that way the Pictos are all the ones that you don't have leveled up. That way you can apply everything. Hopefully that made sense. Just, I'm going to give you the Pictos and the Luminous. Try to get as close to that list as possible. You can also go farm up with the merchant nearby outside the flag. You can do all of that stuff. So you can farm up if you guys need to level up, and then if you need to farm once you have all your Pictos leveled up that you need to for what I'm about to show you guys, then you can lower Mael's health back to 1 and then join me back here. So you might have to do a bit of farming. Hopefully not. Hopefully you guys just have like the Pictos needed, or can make it work by swapping out the Pictos with the Luminous and all. But anyways, going down the list, we have Breaking Burn, Shielding Death, and Energizing Turn are the 3 Pictos I went with Sciel. Of course, we're still using the Chatillon weapon. Make sure you have Fortune, Fury, and Intervention as the skills here. And then as far as Luminous go, I'll do active ones. That way we can see them all. So Augmented Counter 1, 2, and 3. Auto Death, Breaker, Breaking Attack, Breaking Counter, Breaking Death, Breaking Shots, Burning Death, and Cheater. And then Double Burn, Energizing Death, Energizing Start 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then First Strike, Glass Cannon, Immaculate, Inverted, Painted Power, Second Chance, Shortcut, and Teamwork. And those are all the ones I'm going to go with. Of course, also Breaking Burn, Energizing Turn, and Shielding Death are the Pictos. Somehow try to get as close to that full list as possible here. And now we are ready to move on to Lune here. I've swapped her weapon to the Trebuchem one, and Trebuchem, I guess is how you'd say that. But either way, I have that. You're welcome to level it up. We don't need to level it up. All we're really using her for is buffs, so I'm not going to be attacking with Lune. But by all means, if you feel like leveling it up, go for it. Pictos, I got Cheater, Marking Break, and Energizing Start 2. Don't worry about her skills, really. Just leave it as is. And then Luminous, not very many here. So Auto Death, Breaking Death, Burning Death, Energizing Start 1, 2, 3, and 4, Energizing Death. We have Cheater, of course. First Strike, Marking Break, Painted Power, Shortcut, and Second Chance. Pretty short list here. All we need her for is buffs. So that is that. Now, moving on to Mael. Of course, we still have the same weapon. I've swapped her Pictos to now be Second Chance, Powerful Shield, and In Medias Res. And then we obviously need Stendhal and all that. And just keep the same skills, you know. Luminous here. Quite a bit here, actually. So I'm not going to go through it entirely here, but just, I guess I'll just read it out. But at Death's Door, Augmented First Strike, Auto Powerful, Auto Shell, Breaking Counter, Burn Affinity, Cheater, Confident Fighter, Energizing Parry, Energizing Start 1, 2, 3, and 4, Energizing Turn, First Defensive, First Strike, Glass Cannon, Greater Defenseless, Greater Powerful, Immaculate, In Medias Res is our Pictos, Inverted Affinity, Longer Burn, Painted power, of course, that's a must. Powerful on shell, and then powerful shield and second chance are the other Pictos. And then we have roulette, teamwork, and shield affinity. And hopefully you guys can get all of those. If you guys have extra luminous, and you think something kind of makes sense once you see what I'm about to do here, if you see something you want to throw on there, by all means do that. And then of course Minoko is just left alone. But Verso and Minoko are going to sit this one out. Mael's over here with barely any health here, and then we have the other people at full. And so that's that. But now I need to level up their abilities different. So I need to upgrade the attributes, and we're going to respec our characters here. So starting with Sciel here, I'm going to respec, and I want Sciel to have max agility, max luck, and then whatever else you can throw into might. All right. So just make her that. With Lune here, reset real quick. I want maxed out might, and then most of the luck. Let's see, I have, after maxing, I'd have 63. So I'm actually going to lower it a little bit to like, we'll try like 80. Let's see how much. Let's see. Yeah, I'll go with 80 and 82. I want vitality and luck to be kind of balanced, really, but a little bit higher luck if you're trying to decide. Luck is more important. But that's what I'm going to go with. It doesn't have to be exact. Whoops, hold up. Moving on to Mael. We're going to reset her. Of course, maxed out might, max out defense, and then everything you have left goes into luck. So there we go. That's our 3 respecs there. And that should be that. And now the last thing I want to recommend before you go and trigger that, because Mael's at 1 HP and all, we want her to stay that way. And if I die over there to the boss and then I come back and I rest, everybody's back to full health, and then there goes our whole plan. So what I would recommend is figuring out previous saves. So like right now, it's 928. So obviously this save right here is my most recent. And I can always just interact with the flag, back off, and be like, oh, okay. So like for sure, that's like, so I would do this until you get a previous save, kind of like what we did with the Dark Gestural Arena before that Golgra fight. But yeah, I would make sure you have a previous save that's recent after your build is all set up and everything. And if you need to wait here for a few minutes just to make sure that, because it's about every 5 minutes or so that it doesn't auto save. So if you need to wait, once your build is set and Mael's at 1 HP, then make sure you have a previous save. That way, every time you die, you can just reset your save instead of having to rest and all that. But hopefully you can get this in one attempt here. That's the point of this build. It's a pretty interesting way we're about to go about it. And just, again, make sure you have Immolation, or you have Fortune Fury and Intervention for Sciel. Make sure you have Immolation for Lune, and then Stendhal for Mael. Those are the skills that we're going to need. All right, so here we go. I'm going to walk us through this. You should be able to copy this. Now, we are rolling the dice on roulette. Okay, I'm just going to let you guys know that. That's why we have our save file and all.
These swords. They look like the ones in old Lumiere.
Ah, so he's the one who felled the Exxon. Simon.
You know him.
He's an old friend of mine. We joined Expedition Zero together. He disappeared and I thought... Looks like you met Clair. I'll lay you to rest. My friend.
Okay, now this build, like I was saying, it's going to work for phase 1 pretty much 9 out of 9 times. Phase 2 is where you're going to gamble a little bit. But that being said, it's going to take you far less attempts gambling with roulette than it will to learn his moveset and actually beat him properly. But if you do want to beat him properly, if you get hit at all, you instantly die. If you die, he removes you from the world and you're no longer in the game. So it's a bit of an unfair fight, and his sword hits twice. It always has like an after effect. You have to parry everything he does twice over. It's very fast. It's a very unfair fight. So that's why I'm recommending what we're about to do. And I think you're going to all agree. And this is guaranteed to work now because all the patches have been made to this game. And this is just using our brains. It's not an exploit or anything like that. Like back in the day, people were kind of using Pictos to break the game, and they've patched all that. So this is like a guaranteed just strat, okay? So don't feel bad about this. This is just being smart. So Fortune Fury on Mael. Make sure it's on Mael. And because Lune and Sciel died, she's super buffed, and she's at, you know, low HP as well with the extra buff. Now on our second turn, I'm going to apply Twilight Slash. It doesn't really matter. Just do anything that's a Twilight or a Moon skill. So it really doesn't matter. I guess I can do Sealed Fate. Like, why not, right? Get as much damage as we can. Now with Lune, I want to hit Immolation. On the off chance you mess up, it at least makes Simon on fire for Mael's sake to get back into Stendhal. That's mainly it. All right, so Immolation twice with Lune, and then now we're gonna hit Stendhal, and this should work every time on phase 1. And there we go. That was a really tough phase. That was pretty tough. Now, I hope you went to every casino in the game, because you're going to need the RNG luck.
My love, these foes are beneath you. You who have fought heaven and earth and subdued giants. To find me, to free me from her grasp. Would you fall now to the likes of them? While your oath remains unfulfilled, rise. Your enemies await.
Oh, I'm so scared. We have a little thing called luck, and it's on our side. Lady Luck is on our side. I can feel it. Now that I say that, I'm going to hit the worst Stendhal possible, probably. All right, Sciel and Lune are going to do their job and buff Mael by dying. Don't ask me how that works. Now, Fortune Fury, make sure it's on Mael. She has powerful and shields and all that. Second turn, I'll hit Sealed Fate again, just might as well. That gets her into Twilight on the off chance you need her. It also does more damage than our other skill. Now Immolation again, twice over with Lune. She's already done her job. She died and buffed Mael. That's all we needed her for, with her Pictos and whatnot. So just apply fire. And now, say your prayers. Hey, shitload of work went into that build. Let's go, phase 2. If you look at his damage down there, 53 million was dealt. 52 on that last Stendhal. So I think Miss 52 million has a nice ring to it. What do you guys think? I think we can round up 53 million. Miss 53 million took out Simon, no problem. All right, and once you have finished that boss fight right there, you're gonna pop the trophy Peace at Last for beating Simon. That's pretty cool, and we get some rewards from him and all that. And then over here is gonna be Simon's journal, which is our last journal. This is gonna get us the Follow the Trail trophy. I made sure not to grab this in all of my other playthroughs. That way we could pop this trophy together.
More and more of my...
There we go, Follow the Trail. It'll pop once you exit that menu. And on this playthrough, let's see, hold up. On this account here, I've got every trophy except for the last one, which is to reach level 99, and you should be at the same spot, just the last trophy on our list. So there you go. And yeah, now we, whoops. Go back to the flag once you have gotten that, and you say goodbye to Simon here in the Abyss. Very ominous area. So Peace at Last for beating him, and Follow the Trail for all journals. Now we can rest. Finally, you can lower or raise Mael's health back up to normal there. And of course, obviously if you fail to Simon, reload your save, try again. It shouldn't take more than 2 or 3 attempts, I would say, to get the max damage from that. I think worst case, you're going to get like 19 million, which is like a third of his health bar. So that's like worst case scenario. But yeah, usually that doesn't take very long. It's better to do that. I promise you it's going to take you far less time to just do that build than it would to actually learn the attacks and do it normally. So by all means, I think that's the best way to go about Simon. Now I'm going to start leveling up our character here. I can put her back towards might. And then with Mael, up the luck once again. I need 2 more for her. All right, that's fine. Got a bunch of color Luminas from beating Simon here. I'm just going to hold on to those guys. You might want to save them for potential builds. So I would just hold on to them for now. And I'll go over stuff at the end. When we get to the very end of the next chapter, the final chapter, there's going to be the last 3 bosses of the game. And I'm going to give you a couple options on each one. So you might want to just hold on to color Luminas at this point and put it towards other characters in case you want to buff Lune. Because Lune is really good if you can get her build correct. And so you might want to save all these to get her back in the realm of normal amount of color Luminas. So we have Mael, Sciel, and Verso at 300. That's enough for anything that we really need to do. The only thing you could do from there would be to like buff one of the characters up to like 500 or 600, and then people can go crazy with builds. But that's in like New Game Plus and all that. But for our first playthrough, I would save them from now. So yeah, that's that. Rest up. Head back to the continent. And now we're on our way to the Endless Tower. We're going to knock out the first of the 4 bosses, and that's going to help us out in our future endeavors. This is the easiest of the 4. This is one of those types of bosses where it's not hard. It demands perfection, but none of the attacks are that crazy. And it's going to take you probably a handful of deaths, but eventually you'll be like, oh, okay, I get it. And then it's just a matter of, it's a gauntlet. It takes a while to kill this boss. And we don't really get to be stronger because all the methods have been patched, unfortunately. Unless you're like crazy overpowered. Like if you have 600 Luminous, then yeah, there's methods. Some people do just sit there and farm the merchants and things like that to get color of Luminas. That is a thing people have done. So come to the flag here, rest up just to make it a checkpoint, head to the right, and now that we have beaten the bosses and whatnot of the game, you can come back this way, and hiding out in the corner is going to be an outfit for Verso. Looks pretty cool if I might say so myself. Look at that. Wow. I think, wait, hold on, we could make him look like the Gladiator. Look at that. Looks like he's straight out of Sparta or like, yeah, I guess the Gladiator is like, are you not entertained? I'll leave him like that. Also, we can remove the party members here. and we're heading to this canvas, but don't go into it yet. We have to set up Verso's build, so give me 1 second. I'll show you guys what I make his build. I just wanted to quickly show, I had to farm up the Shielding Death and my other Pictos, or my other, Pictos. And so I had to farm that up really quick, and I just, you know, it's really easy to pop over here. I didn't realize I didn't have it fully leveled. But anyways, just pop over here. There's an enemy right below. Also, I was going to do this afterwards, but I might as well put it in here. There's just a color of Lamina right there, right outside the tower. But anyways, yeah, there's enemies right there. And then, of course, there's the ones in the easy area, but you can one-shot them with your bullets, so it takes no time at all. Okay, so now that I'm ready for the build here, I'm just going to show you guys. I'm starting with sciel, and then I'm just going to do Verso Mael. And then for sciel, if you guys have any extra, by all means, throw on anything else you think is going to help you. You might like combo attack, or anything that does like break damage, just anything really. So I'm just going to show you guys the extra ones I'm adding on. So you can do burn affinity. Let's see. Yeah, just really anything. I mean, it doesn't really matter that much. You can put on any other energizing starts that you have. Just anything that you think is good. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Not that those are required. You don't have to add anything to sciel for this fight. But just in case you want to add extra, you know, there you go. Now with Verso, I put on Shielding Death, Double Burn, and Confident Fighter. Same skills as before. And then looking at the active ones, most of this is all the same. Everything I'm showing is what we had on him before. So, you know, feel free to look through that. That's everything I had. I didn't change anything, so I wanted to add what I was going to add here. So I'm going to add Combo Attack 1. And then, let's see, we're going to do Breaking Death, Breaking Burn. And then, let's see. I want Double Burn, which I guess I already have that on my thing. Yeah, so I've got Double Burn. That's pretty good for this one, I would say. Let's see. That's really about it that I want. You could throw on things like Double Mark, and then let's see, Energizing Start. If you have extra for that, you could do that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna give him Energizing Start 4 just to have extra AP. But yeah, after that, Mael's this exact same. I didn't change anything about her. You're welcome to put on anything that you want, like Augmented Counter or something like that. So I'm just going to put on whatever I'm able to make on her build. And there we go. So really not many changes, just setting up Verso with his new Pictos would be like the bare minimum for this fight. And now with the build setup, I wanted to quickly show you guys the move set because it is a bit challenging to do that while I'm actually fighting the boss. So here are the first 4 attacks here on phase 1 and all that. And then when we get to phase 2, it won't be that difficult if you're already used to phase 2. And we should have enough revives for phase 2. But anyways, here is a deeper look at that. All right, I've slowed this down here, but this is the Stormblood. So parry the clones right before they hit you. It's going to be the middle one. And then this left one's a little bit delayed, but just after that, it's all in a rhythm. So it'll be left, middle, right, 2 in the middle, and then you'll parry both of the bosses, and then it'll be all 4 at the end of it. So just make sure you're parrying right before the clones hit you. On the all 4 one, watch the top 2 middle ones, and you'll have no issue. Now let's move on to the next one. This one is the sneaky attack. It's definitely the most difficult one of the first phase here. So it's going to be 3 parries, and then a sneaky little clone on the left. I've paused it right here and circled. Keep your eye on his blade. That's your cue on how to parry his attack, because you can't actually see the boss with that clone blocking it, which is, I guess, why it's sneaky. But then it's just a few regular parries, at which point you're going to have a clone on the right, another parry here, and then it's going to be a flurry of clones here in the end. So middle, left, right, and then back to one final attack here. So that one's definitely the most difficult of the bunch here on phase 1. This is the one where they attack together. It's a very long attack here, but not too difficult. The left guy's going to have 3 parries to open the attack. Afterwards, the right guy's going to have you with a couple parries. He does a spin move, and then he just does the left-right attack downward. Very simple. It's very easy to parry, I would say. The window is pretty forgiving. When it goes back to the left guy, after his first attack, it's going to be a slow attack and then the jump attack. Always the jump attack there. So get ready to, after the second jump there, it's going to be another slow attack. So not too many there. And on this one, it's slow. It's 1, 2, and then finally 3. So all of those attacks look like they'd be fast, but they're actually 3 very slow attacks in a row. Okay, this is the easiest one here, the impressive attack. Just know that impressive always means jump. So it'll be a parry and then right into the jumps there. And then now you want to watch the left guy parry it, and then right again. And then it's going to go back to the left guy. And then the right guy is going to try to sneak in there and get the last attack. So it's going to go left, right, right, left, right on those last few attacks. Okay, this is the relentless one here. It's definitely a very tricky one. So it starts off a little bit slow. So just get ready for the spinning attacks here. It's kind of slow, tricks you out. Then it's going to get quick with the spin attack. This is where it picks up a lot of speed, is on the second half of this attack here. And then at the end, when he does the jumps, it's going to be 2 regular jumps. And on the third one, it's the counter, the gradient counter there. So don't let that catch you off guard there. But yeah, the relentless starts off slow, ends fast. This is the swift combo here. It's going to be the easiest here. So it's the jump version. So it's going to open with the regular jump after the first parry, and then it's going to go back to a couple more parries, and then it's another jump. So it's going to have 2 jump sections. Don't let that catch you off guard. And otherwise, this is the easiest of the phase 2 attacks. It's very obvious what he's doing. Once you get familiar with it, it's very easy tells for the sword attacks, I would say. Phase 2 Stormblood attack is pretty straightforward. It's easy, I would say, but the last part can actually kill all your players. So what I do is, once you've finished parrying all the different clones, same timing as the first phase, after that's over, watch his sword. It's going to be 2 pulses. You just, after the last clone, go 1, 2, and then parry. And it's going to be on the second pulse right there. So it's about 2 seconds afterwards. If you don't get that right, he kills everybody pretty much. So it's definitely a punishing attack, but an easy attack at that, as long as you know the timing. Okay, now the long combo is going to start off really fast and then it ends slow, kind of the opposite of the relentless attack. So just get ready for the spinning attack, same as the relentless, but much faster. And it's going to be after the spin attack right there, that's when it slows down. And it's just going to be the overhead slam attacks here. Very simple at this point. And then on the last attack, make sure you give it a couple seconds extra. So it's a little bit of a delayed parry at the end. And if you don't get that just right, but it's going to kind of throw you off because you get in a rhythm, and then all of a sudden it's like a little bit longer of a beat for that last parry. Okay, when we're ready, we can head into the boss fight here. It's going to be a bit of a long fight. All of these fights are pretty lengthy, I would say.
I'm here.
So I can use Fortune Fury to buff Mael on this first turn. After this, most of our damage is coming from burn damage or counter damage. But for right now, at least on the first hit, we can do our best to buff both of our players here. And then you know what to do. Stendhal, of course. And then we'll hit Swift Stride to get back into Virtuous. And then that way, whenever Mael is countering, she's at least doing decent damage. So Swift Stride on whoever's burning. With our build, both of them should start off burning. All right, good. It'd be embarrassing if I missed the first attack, you know? All right, sneaky one. We got to keep our eyes on the blade. Right here, keep your eye on the blade. This one looks a lot crazier than it actually is. It's not too bad.
Watch out, Mael.
Your turn. See what kind of damage we're getting from Mael here on the counter damage. Oh, I was just a half second too early. No. All right, impressive is always the jump one. Don't get caught off guard. Then left, right, and left guy again. And then finally the right guy. I can't believe I missed that. That was our one free revive with Mael. It's okay, though. All right, I don't have enough to buff anybody, so I'm just going to, I suppose, just do a regular attack. Not much I can do with sciel. But on the second turn, I can at least buff whoever's got the best shots. I'm going to buff Verso because Mael doesn't have Virtuous stance. So I'm just going to do my best here with, I guess I'll do Swift Stride to get into Virtuous. Then I can try to hit hard with a Stendhal. At this point, it's going to be mostly counter damage and then Verso's burn damage that gets us through this fight. So make sure you pay attention to who has the burn. It makes no sense. The left enemy is actually the right number up at the top of the health bar, and this guy is the 6 number, like the left one. I don't know why, but that's just how it is. So I usually shoot one of them and then get them to like somewhat decent level of burn, and then with our base attack, I hit the other guy. And because Verso does a ton of burn damage, at least both of them will now burn. So now no matter who's attacking, they both get pretty high damage. I'm not missing it this time. Mael's on redemption right now. Gotcha. Oh, what am I doing? I just jumped out of nowhere. Thank God I had the shields on. I don't know what I guess I was jumping for joy halfway through that. All right, this is the easy attack. Just left, middle, right. And then middle twice in a row. And then both of them, and then it's all 4. It's always left, middle, right on those kind of attacks for different boss fights like Clair. Like you'll notice it's always left, middle, right with the clones, if you will. Big damage from Verso. Alright. I can't buff on the first one, so I'll do a regular attack. And then we can buff. Let's see. I guess I'll buff Mael. We'll do it. There's that burn damage. So we mean like left, middle, right. You'll get really familiar with these attacks here. And then the second wave, there's only a handful of them, but they're a lot easier, in my opinion, to memorize because they're so similar to the ones that we already have than the original 4. Only problem is the only way to memorize it is to get to the second half of the fight. That's where things can get a little bit rowdy. But yeah, there's a few attacks which we'll go over. We were buffed, Mael. Come on, you gotta go at least 1 million in those. All right, so they're not burning, so I'm just gonna, let's see, what do I have for gradient again? I guess I'll apply the fire. Gets her into offensive at least. All right, same thing here, just shoot one of them and then attack with the base attack on the other one. Your turn, sir. Almost halfway. Too easy. 4 million. Let's go. Verso out here carrying us on this one. All right, well, some excitement here. I died. Let's find out how to handle this. All right, so now I have a decision to make on reviving Ciel, or do you stay with the shields on Mael and Verso? Keep in mind, if you use Stendhal, you lose all your shields, so just keep that in mind. So if you want, you could always do Gustav's Homage or something else, you know, whether you want to just stay in Virtuous stance for the counter damage and all that. It's up to you. I'm going to choose to not revive Ciel because I have shields. I might as well stick with that, and I'm pretty confident. I do want to keep her alive going into the second boss fight, so, you know, make sure you guys revive her before you finish the boss. But I'm just going to stick with, Gustav's Homage. I'm trying to say two different names right there. Alright, 500,000 damage, not horrible. It puts you into Virtuous stance, which isn't horrible either. And then you can go back into a Virtuous again with, if you need to, you can hit the Swift Stride to go back if you weren't already. But anyways, back to the normal thing here to keep the burn going. That's the silent killer in this boss fight. All right, 5 million. You guys see that 1.5 million counter damage halfway through that? I think this is the hardest one to get the timing down. It's not really that bad, but that was the longest one. Or that's the one that took me the longest to memorize, the sneaky attack. All right, back to here. I'm gonna go ahead and switch from Swift Stride to get back to Virtuous.
Time to hit.
And then I'm gonna choose Gustav's Homage again. And I'm gonna do it on the guy with 40 burn. Just to really add insult to injury here. Will we get a million? Oh, 1.1 million. Not bad, not bad. Okay, now this one I'm gonna choose to revive CL. So I'm just gonna stack a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, I'm probably gonna end up killing them before I get to Mael's turn. And so I'm just gonna revive CL here just to get her back in the picture. And we'll Fortune Fury on Mael's coming up next, so might as well do that. And then I can probably buff Verso as well, just to be on the safe side. Yeah, if you're pretty confident on the attacks and you're still learning, it's a good idea anytime CL gets hit, just to let her die. That way you get shields on everybody else, especially when you're trying to memorize the attacks. because that will allow you at least a few errors to figure it out. All right, we're getting close. Let's go. Now she's buffed, so I'm just gonna go all in with I think it's gonna cost me my shields, but I think Stendhal is probably the best option for this kind of situation. Yeah, 3 million. There we go. Now they're gonna fuse together. And now they have 4 new attacks. They're kind of similar to the original 4, but they are different. One of them is going to be a jump one. The swift attack is the jump. The relentless one is the one with the gradient counter. Then there's the long attack, and then there's also the clone attack. I can't remember. I think it's the blood something attack, but it's the clone one. That one's the easiest one. The long one is much more difficult in terms because it's in the name. It's long. And then there's the relentless one, which is kind of hard on the timing. It's very fast, and then he slows down and all, and it also kind of fakes you out with when you should hit. And at the end there's a surprise gradient attack counter, so you definitely have to be on your toes for the relentless one. And then the swift one is actually pretty straightforward. It's about the same as the other attack that you're already familiar with. So here we go. Just gonna do whatever I can here. I guess I don't really have much of anything, so I'm just gonna stack flame on these guys with my gradient. At least allow myself to get into virtuous. So here's the normal jump one. Just be ready, there's 2 jumps. See, here's the second jump. Or I guess 2 jump sections. But ultimately it's all the same combo as before, just a little bit. It's like twice over basically. So don't get caught off guard. There's always 2 sections of jumps. Now I'm gonna buff Verso because he's our next player. And then if you're able to, of course, buff my L with Fortune Fury. All right, here we go. It starts off kind of slow. Ooh, not good. And then this is quick. And then the gradient is the third one. So yeah, that's the hardest one on timing wise. And then here's the long combo. This is kind of like when they attack together. It's kind of that version. All right, way to miss. So now that you've seen almost all of them, the long combo starts off really quick and then it gets slow. Relentless starts off a bit slow, gets really quick, and it has the gradient. And then the swift one is the double jump one. That one's easy. And then the clone one or whatever it's called is also pretty straightforward. So yeah, it's really just the relentless that you have to get, or the relentless and the long combo are the 2 that I would say challenge you. But you have enough revives, hopefully. You can get to this point, you'll have enough revives to get through the entire fight, even if you're not the best at it. Plus, every time Ciel dies, you get shields, and that gives you plenty of mistakes. So I don't really find this phase to be as hard. But I'm just gonna try to stack as much damage as I can here. And then I'm gonna revive my L first. And then hopefully I can get through a turn here. Stormblood, that's what it's called. That's the clone one. And it's the second 1, 2. So count about 2 seconds after that last clone. And he's gonna do that sword. When he pulls it out, it's gonna instantly kill everybody. So make sure you guys are ready for that last counter, the last parry. So after you parry the last Stormblood clone, it's about 2 seconds, and it's 2 little pulses on the sword is the exact timing on that one. All right, I'm almost back in the fight here. Now I'm gonna get Sciel back. That way, if she dies, at least we get shields on Mael. And then now that we're all back, hopefully I can survive again, in which case then I can start using Verso the way I'm supposed to. Get that burn damage. The second jump.
This will hurt.
Oh, will it? Alright, so Swift Stride to get into Virtuous, and then Stendhal. No, I don't have any shields, so I'm gonna use Stendhal. If I had shields, I would do Gustav Sommage. Alright, Mael, coming out the gate. Okay, here we go. Starts off kind of slow, then it gets relentless. How did I miss? And then on the third one, it's the gradient. I don't know how I missed that one. Oh my gosh. All right. Game is testing my patience. Okay, I'm gonna go one more cycle, and I'm just gonna choose to get burn damage on this guy. I'm gonna start doing some damage here, you know? I have enough shields to make it, I'm pretty sure. It is a bit risky though, if you're not familiar with the fight. You definitely don't want to be the last one alive, because if you have to bring in reserve team, I mean, it's over. Our reserve team is not going to cut it. But if you're in a situation like me and you feel like, oh, I can probably make it a couple turns, feel free to get some damage and stack that burn up while you still have shields and everything. Otherwise, hit the revive, you know? Gotcha. Verso doing some damage here with the burn. Just get it as high as I can here. I'm gonna go until I lose a shield pretty much. That's my plan.
Let's have some fun.
168 burn, doing 4 million damage. Yeah, so it starts off slow, gets really quick. I've got the timing down now, for sure. All right, so now I'm gonna start bringing everybody in. He's got enough burn damage. And I'm up to, let's see, 8 revives. So this will bring us down to 6.
Disaster.
This is my favorite one because we get 4 things of damage plus the counter damage. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to Stendhal because I want to revive CL with this turn, with the next one. That way Verso can get the burn damage going. So I'm just gonna sacrifice the Virtuous Stance. And then I'll just Do that and revive sciel here. Are you serious, Gabe? I'm too early on that last one. Well, I had everybody revive. Thank God for the shields, though, right?
Time to end this.
All right, I'm gonna stack a little bit of burn. We're just gonna reset back here, just the way I just did. Yeah, these bosses are really long. And just remember, they used to be one-shottable. They might still be, but I have yet to see anything that still works. I tested a lot of builds over the last week. So if you know of something, please, by all means, leave a comment. But most of the Pictos that let you one-shot are patched. And then the really, really meta ones are tied to, like, you know, if you're in New Game Plus, yeah, then you can do it. Or there's, I've seen a couple builds that do still work, but it's like, oh, hey, you have to have 700 color Laminas for your character, which is just not realistic. So I haven't found anything on, like, your base build, like, normal playthrough, what would count and work. So these bosses really just are challenging. They're gauntlets. I think that's the way the devs wanted it, though, which is why they patched all the builds that made it ridiculously easy. These are supposed to be the, like, hey, this is to keep you busy for the next, you know, however many months of your life here.
Time to end this.
I mean, but to be fair, most games in this genre do have something like this. This is like the God Home in Hollow Knight. Oh, I'm so early on that. I always do it too early. Let's see, I've got 4 shields. I'm still doing okay. I'll get them back here in a moment, though. All right, finally back into S rank here. So now I'll revive once again. Okay, now I'm gonna Swift Stride. Take ourselves into Virtuous. And then without shields, Stendhal. With shields, Gustav Homage. Could have been better, Mael, but all right.
Oh well.
There we go. Now we're seeing the million. And gradient counter. Yeah, it gets fast in that second half.
Maximum damage.
And I'll revive Sciel on Mael's next turn. One and two. Okay. Let's see. I'll do a Stendhal just to get some amount of damage, and then on my next turn, I'll revive Sciel. There we go. Take that. 11,000 damage. All right, halfway there. The second half does go kind of quick, in my opinion. Something about the burn damage seems to do more towards the end of the health bar. Why am I so early on it? Dude, I keep messing that up. I'm better than that. It's like the entire time I do it right, and then that last attack. It's just such a long pause on that long attack. I don't know. My mind is not working with me right now. Maybe it's just gonna have to be a Verso fight for me. Just gonna have to be Verso clutching up. He is the only one doing real damage though, so at least it's him that has the meta right now. Ideally, I'd want Sciel to die so that they both have shields, Mael and Verso. But I haven't been able to keep Sciel alive long enough to even have that chance. Nice. Come on, big damage. Let's go. Okay, I'm gonna attempt the impossible and revive the team once again. Remember. Yeah, see that burn damage? It's kicking in. It's something about the second half that, I don't know, it just... No. It does more damage on that second half of the health bar. Might just be me, but I always get like 2, 3, 4, 5 million even on the second half. I only ever get like 1 million on the first half of the health bar. Okay, all right. We need to do two things here. Oops, hold on. First and foremost, revive Sciel. Second turn, I did take a bit of a tumble, so I'm gonna use a healing tent, which I don't even think works in this. Yeah, no. It's not in these boss fights. But I had to check for science. All right. You know what? Verso, it's all you, buddy. I do have one more attempt to revive, but I'm going to take the boss down a little bit further. Yeah, see what I mean? 2 million, 1.5. I think I know my problem too. I've always revived Mael first, not Sciel. See, I need to give Mael kind of a, a timeout, make her think about things. She's getting too confident. I'm gonna revive Sciel first, let Mael think about that. Worst case scenario, I get more shields on Verso. Yeah, right now, it's like, I know I'm low on revives. I'm not really worried about getting it done. It's more just I'm trying to do it the right way, not just, just getting it done. But Verso's not going to die with shields. Like, I feel like we're good there. Now the slow part, and remember the wait is more for me. Super long pause, then parry. That was more for me, honestly. All right, I'm gonna hit no, you know what? I'm gonna buff Verso. Then on my second turn, also, by the way, her end slice is pretty decent as well, if on like regular enemies. I haven't really shown that before because we only unlocked it recently. Let's see, I'll hit my last revive here. Mael, make it count.
Get up!
I've never been more locked in on my life. And long pause. All right, let's take this thing over the finish line. Let's see, hold up. I wonder what S rank Angel Eyes is gonna do to him. 5.6 million? Shit. That's crazy. Level 3 Angel Eyes might be the move. And I get a halo, guys.
Just try it.
We're almost there. It's been 35 minutes in this boss fight, in case you're wondering. That's just how these boss fights are. That's why next chapter is pretty much all the boss fights. Next chapter is going to be pretty fun. We have a really whimsical first half of the chapter, and then it's just absolute nightmare hellhole in the second half of the chapter, and then we finish with platinum. It's gonna be a wild time. All right, we're gonna buff our goat here. Verso looks like he's from like, he looks like he's in Gladiator. Like it's like after Russell Crowe dies, you know, and he's like in the wheat field. He's just like going home finally. That's what Verso's looking like right now with his angel halo and everything. He's living a whole different life. Look at him. He's like, ah, whatever the song is. You know?
Show me what you can do.
Dude's taking over the finish line. Big damage, big damage, big damage. Almost 2 million. Could be worse. All right, this triple counter damage is gonna start to add up. Yeah, we're getting big damage each turn. All right, Mael was buffed, and she has no shields. So Stendhal, at least 2 million. Come on. Yeah, that's about what I expected.
I'm ready.
And then I don't really have anything that's worth anything, so let's do that.
Not impressed.
And Gradient. He can't touch us. Oh, we're so close. Buff City over here.
Show me what I can do.
Oh, an easy one. The parry window on this one is right before they hit you. It's pretty generous, though, the parry window on this one. It's really just that 1-2 at the end that can instant kill everybody. That's the only hard part about that attack. But I think counting to 2 every time really does help. As soon as you make that last parry. Here we go. 9 million. Let's go, Verso. You know what, buddy? You earned it. Take us over the finish line. Are you not entertained? 232 million damage. That's so much health. There we go, guys. First of 4 bosses have been felled. And guess what? We get a weapon for it. Mael looks like she's seen, like, the fabric of space and time ripped away from her, and she just realized life isn't real. She's got that not just 1,000-yard stare. She's on a 100,000-yard stare right now. Maya looks like she has no soul anymore. So basically, guys, this will be our next one in the next chapter, and then there's the canvas up there, and then that all leads to that canvas. You're able to do all 3 right now, but I wouldn't recommend it. We don't have the build for it, which we will get here in the next chapter. But let's go ahead and rest up. Upgrade, of course. Also, each of these bosses gets us a decent amount of levels. So I'm at 95 with Mael. We were only 4 more levels away from Platinum, technically. It's going to give her a little bit of extra luck there. Give Minoko whatever. His stats do not matter. I'm not using him ever. So that's that. And then buff his agility, I suppose. Same with Lune. I don't really care what she has. And then with Sciel, we'll up her might. Nothing else to really up for her. On the off chance she decides to hit the boss, you know. Ah, so close. All right, and then you'll have a lot of color luminas. Like I said, I would just save them from the boss fights, and we'll use them in our next chapter for specific things. You might want to save them if you plan on doing the rest of the bosses in this tower. And you know, I'm gonna do my best to make the other ones a little bit easier for us. The one that we just did is more of a it's easy, but it's just a gauntlet because it takes forever, right? But the other ones are a little bit different in the sense that they don't take as like the next one we're gonna do is kind of a lengthy fight, but it's not that bad. The third one we do is a little bit shorter, but it's a much harder fight. And then the last one is just, I mean, it's just a fight. It's a boss fight. It's definitely worthy of the ultimate boss fight. But that's that. So yeah, I don't know. We're gonna want the color of Luminas for all that. Now on Sciel at this point, go ahead and equip the new weapon we just got, the Duo Liaison. You might remember me talking about that before. It is the weapon you get is 11,000 damage, in case you didn't check on that. 11,000. It's an S rank weapon. Definitely put on the Duo Liaison. You get that for beating the boss fight. So everybody, let's leave the Endless Tower for now. We'll come back here in the next chapter. We're gonna have a nice peaceful flight over to Verso's drafts, which is where we'll leave off on this chapter. And at this point, while we're flying, I'm just going to kind of explain a few things. So you're welcome to just farm whatever enemy you can do. The merchant at Renoirs drafts that's right outside of the Simon boss. You could, if you like these bosses in the Endless Tower and you want to just farm it, you know, feel free. You get a lot of XP from that. So feel free. Also, before I start talking, the color Lumina here, I was going to do that one and the one that was down here, but I already grabbed it earlier. But if you missed that part of the chapter when I was farming, there was one right here as well. So just get both of those. Anyways, but yeah, you're welcome to farm up to level 99 and you'll pop the platinum and be done with the game. If you want the 100% completion, then you'll have to do the next chapter, which is going to take us to Verso's drafts, which is where we're heading right now. And then after that, we'll finish with the last 3 bosses in Endless Tower. And then you can say that you've beaten everything and done everything and gotten all items in Expedition 33. So it's definitely the full completion on next chapter, but not needed for Platinum. Verso's drafts, right back in Spawn beside the Eiffel Tower. This is by far one of the coolest areas in all of gaming, in my opinion. I think the developers, this was like their love letter to the fans, and I think it really is worthy of just what this game is. I think it's just fun. It's the world idea is basically Verso, and when he was a little kid, this is what he would have come up with for his dream world. And so it really does speak to like what a kid would come up with for like endless possibility.
But he never showed it to me.
It was.
Yeah, it's a wild place. There's a lot going on here. Very interesting boss at the end, which has a lot of lore.
Yeah.
And if you're wondering about the relationship between Verso and Esquier, then you're gonna have a lot of bonus lore here if you speak to everybody. But all of that will be at the start of next chapter. So even if you are gonna farm for Platinum, I would definitely advise you, at least on the next chapter, at least get Verso's drafts done, because it's not hard, it's more just fun, and you get a lot of good Pictos from it. So anyways, that's gonna wrap up chapter 23. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in our final chapter when we pop Platinum and beat all the bosses in chapter 24. So hope you have a good one, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.